age, which means that the difference in age between us is 75 years. And that presents a problem, especially on the ski slopes, because while I'm at the top of the slope, they will already be at the bottom. So my advice to those who may aspire to be grandparents is to have them early. I have, well, I'll come to that. I'll introduce you very shortly to Zelda and Morris. I have invited here today friends from different parts of my life. Let's start with June Factor, who arrived in Australia on the same ship that I did in 1939. Then there is Peter Eisler, who at 2 years of age was staying in the same apartment block in South Yarra that I was in, and which had a swimming pool. Peter was peddling a child's car that I was also in, oblivious of the fact that we were headed to the pool. Luckily, we were saved by our fathers in the nick of time. Then there was Morris Rosenberg, whom I met at the city gym at the age of 8. Morris and Zelda now have a grandchild aged 33. I repeat, 33. Just in case you don't know who I'm talking about, Zelda and Morris.
Stand up, Zelda, stand. She can still stand.
The grandmother, her grandmother, his eldest grandson is 33. That took a while for me to sink in.
Now you can guess how old I am.
No, I don't. That's a few years younger than Morris, I think.
Well, I'm your age.
That's right. At the other end of the time spectrum, I'm pleased to welcome here Annette Herschel and her family, who moved into the area only a few months ago. Annette, like my mother, moved in the direction opposite to where most of the community was moving. In the middle of this time period is the tennis group to which I belong and which has been going for 31 years. At my 60th birthday celebration 25 years ago, I was presented with this trophy signed by the 3 other members of the group at that time. I wondered if I could have it here.
Prepared.
Here's the trophy I was presented with by the tennis group for my 60th 25 years ago, and the tennis group is still going. The membership has changed a little bit, but the group is still going strong. Friends, I now want to say a few words about my late parents, Evelyn and Norman. Why, you may ask? Well, many of you will remember your parents at their yahrzeit every year, but my parents don't have a yahrzeit. Why not? Well, I shall explain. Norman grew up with a strongly Orthodox family, so much so that on the Sabbath he would not carry a handkerchief in his pocket, because on the Sabbath one is not supposed to carry anything. Instead, he wore his handkerchief around his waist. But when Norman got to university, he was subject to influences which made him give up religion entirely, so he never joined a congregation. Evelyn had similarly given up on religion, but she joined the Leo Beck Centre because she enjoyed the high holiday services, and I used to accompany her to these services. But when she felt that she was too old to continue attending services, she transferred her membership to me. My mother had considerable vision. First, she had vision in finding this property in 1952 next to the riverbank, next to Cope Park, and with a tennis court. The swimming pool was built in the 1970s. Other examples of her vision are the round table, which she found in Copenhagen. Now, the round table is where the drinks are served. If you haven't yet seen it, have a look before you go, and keep in mind that comes from Copenhagen. Norman asked her how she was going to transport the table to Australia. Well, she found a way. Then there is the Aboriginal mural, which my mother found locally. If you haven't seen it yet, that's the Aboriginal mural. Again, Norman asked her how she was going to get this mural into the house. But again, she found a way. The best thing about this mural is its size. So if anyone had ideas of relocating it, they would be unable to find the space. Although Norman gave up religion, he remained fluent in the Hebrew blessings, and he was able to help me on blessings I had difficulty with. for example, the response to the 4 questions on Seder night. And he taught me to use expression in the blessing, for example, Va'afilu kulanu hachamim, kulanu nevonim, kulanu zekenim, kulanu yodim et haTorah. Norman and Evelyn would best want to be remembered for their publications. Evelyn's publications included the pamphlets, with the, what happened to them? With the Palestine. Come to that later. Have you got them under the sheets? And the pamphlets.
Are they under your notes? Are they amongst yours on that one?
Okay, can't find those 2 pamphlets, so we'll proceed.
In your notes, have a look amongst your notes.
You're holding it in your hand.
Oh, I'm holding it.
Yes.
Thank you, Georgia.
No, it wasn't me, someone.
It's so useful that if you haven't got it, Georgia,
Thank you.
If you haven't got it,
you can't go wrong in finding a Georgia. Anyway, so
I could say a very funny joke.
this pamphlet with the Palestine she wrote in 1947, and Israel Reborn, the pamphlet she wrote in 1948. Now, her books included.
I'm okay with where I'm
Thank you. Thank you, Connie. The Future is Past. And down the years, a book of short stories. Here we are. Down the years, a book of short stories. Norman's publication included the books Many Paths to Peace and The Trial of God, published in 1998. I have inherited this lust for writing and have published Challenges Facing Israel at 60, published in 2008. Rabbi Jonathan referred to that. And Alternatives to Offshore Processing, which I edited, published in 2013. And The Drownings Argument, which I edited, published in 2014. I also published in 1980 the report on the Fiji Census of Agriculture, 1978. I need, however, to clarify that I was paid for producing this report by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and the Fiji government generously allowed me to publish it under my own name. My daughter Lisa has also inherited the need to write, and in 2019 she published the book How We Got Cyber Smart. This book explains the dangers of the internet for children. Thank you. I think we've got time for a couple of short questions if there are any. Otherwise, I'll hand over to
Well, we've got cake cutting to
hand over
do.
back to Georgia.
How about some cake cutting, Robert?